Welcome back to the podcast. That's the Schmeat Nation 3 podcast presented by Power Director. I am your host for the final time this season, Commissioner Kale, and Adam back in. How you feeling?
Feels good to be back. Sorry for missing last week.
You had to get the boys right, but unfortunately could not pull
Just
it
went
off.
into the lab and made all the wrong decisions.
We'll get into that one. We'll get into all the matchups and all the matchups of importance. Let's do it. Jumping into last week, we got a little bit of delay before your matchup, Adam, but here we go. It was a clincher and winning by 0.4, was it? As my internet dies. Yeah, 0.42. Andrew off a final extra point takes down the champion of old, Jamie, and gets his name into the dance.
Yeah. I mean, this is why we play fantasy football right here. Like, this is what made watching a blowout shutout on Monday Night Football in December that, in terms of the NFL, just doesn't matter in the slightest, and it was electric to watch.
Yeah, I can't imagine the feeling as the fucking Malik Willis converts a fourth down play like a deep shot and just shuts her season down. Pretty brutal. I mean, hell of a shifty play for Jamie to slot in Drake May, but ultimately it lost it for her. She should have stuck with Brock Purdy. That feels bad.
Yeah. And, of course, this is the week where Debo finally does his thing. Maybe you could make the argument that you could have played him over Jerry Jeudy. I mean, we knew Jameis Winston wasn't playing, so
yeah, he
was
so
downgraded
good
for a lot of people.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it's tough to bench him, but with that QB swap, it's not the craziest thing to see him dropping off. But it's just all around tough for Jamie.
Yeah, and then of course Andrew, like, you expect the Panthers to just kick a field goal, but they give it to Chuba one final time, and he houses it to win him the game. Like, pretty incredible series of events in this one. My goodness, even with the Josh Allen dud performance, like, obviously every single yard counted. This is a point. This is 4-yard victory for Andrew. So pretty crazy, insane series of events there, and he gets it. Second year in the league, I think, and now first time playoffs, first time championship. Quite the ratio.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a new name on the trophy this year. That's always exciting.
Speaking of great intros, we go into your matchup. Real shame seeing that Josh Jacobs touchdown, and then he really got sat for the entire second half. So how does that feel? Adam's season comes to an end, just like the rest of us.
I mean, I was going over it, and Sunday morning there was 3 decisions that I was debating. Colts D over Cardinals D, Jalen McMillan over Rico Dowdle, and Chigakonko over Brenton Strange. And if I had made any of those swaps, I would be in the championship game. But
oh, Lordy.
instead, I made all 3 wrong decisions. But again, that's just fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, it really was it. Like 18 from the kicker while Seth's got 2, but then the defense of Seth brings him back. And of course, Jay Jetta, as everyone was sleeping, I think he was the last of those top tier wide receivers gone, and he comes in big here. Lamar, like, I kind of had him as a down week, but that's only because he's been having such a fucking good season. So 26, not nearly a down week in any capacity, really. And it came down to Patrick Taylor making it close, but Seth sneaks away with a victory, even though he's got a lot of points on the bench.
Yeah, that's the other point of it to me, where it's like, I can say hindsight's 2020, but at the end of the day, if he had played Tyjae Spears, Gus Edwards, or Amir Abdullah over Patrick Taylor, he would have won. So
that probably would have been the first time in a long time that Seth had 2 running backs that put up good points. If he would have slotted any of those guys in, but he didn't. Still makes the chip, and now
it just goes to show, getting that bye, players get rusty.
Yeah, I was gonna say both bye week players didn't get to taste any victory in the playoffs when it counted, but of course y'all still play in the third place matchup, and then a couple other ones to cover in the playoffs. This is brutal for Bradley. He lost by 6 points or something last week, and of course comes out and drops 191, has a generational performance when it doesn't really matter. So that's fantasy football in a nutshell. And Connor had a good week too, 150, but he wouldn't have been able to beat anyone, so he can't be kicking himself.
It is unfortunate to see, but you got to be able to survive those early rounds. You got to be able to do this every week if you want to secure the championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
No off weeks.
I think Bradley got Josh Allen like so many fantasy players did, so there are support groups out there for you, Brad. And then moving into Losers Bowl, Reese and Jasper doesn't really matter. They're locked in. They're safe. But Max and Parker in the second tier. Max ends up with a sneaky victory after having gone 11 weeks in a row without winning, comes in and wins when it matters. He avoids his name getting on the toilet bowl and on Parker's side. I mean, he's had a bad team all year and will continue to have a bad team going into the playoffs. And then I don't know if you have anything else to say on these ones.
I am just so excited for this toilet bowl, though. This is going to be electric.
And let's go see who has the other one. Oh, it's me. This was actually supposed to be a mega blowout, but then Christian Watson didn't really do anything. So he ended up just 5 points ahead of me, which of course then you go to the bench and I'm like, oh, I should have played the fucking backup Washington running back instead of Brian Robinson who fumbled
you
twice.
should have anticipated, the double fumble from Brian
Yeah,
Robinson.
how could I do that? My defense for the first time all season duds up. But then obviously I got super lucky with a Jalen Hurts injury or lack thereof, and you can apparently have a quarterback drop 44 and 6-point QB and still put up less than 120.
I mean, when the remaining 9 players on your team are averaging less than 10 points, yeah, that is very, very doable.
That is brutal. So let's get into this week. Jumping right into it. We'll start at that toilet bowl matchup. We'll go toilet bowl third place and peek at the championship. But here we go. What are your thoughts, Adam? Unbiased opinion going into the toilet bowl. I've been a Parker hater all year. Can't remember where you have stood, but
I know you've been a Parker hater. I haven't necessarily been a Parker hater, but I have thought that your team has been way better than how it's performed. Like, I feel like I consistently had you higher in the rankings than you had yourself. So
yeah,
that's kind of what it comes down to me. But like, I remember last year I was playing Jalen Warren as my running back too, and being like, man, Jalen Warren kind of electric, and that is just never where you want to be in fantasy, is relying on Jalen Warren.
No, he can kind of somewhat piece it together in PPR. I think Garendo has a chance to play, so he'll slot in for Warren. If not, I mean, I guess if I'm running B-Rob out again, but yeah, on Parker's side, it's just like a lot of those players that have been a little gross, except for Bijan and Mike Evans. Like, otherwise, he's had a lot of inconsistency. You can see it in the player rankings there.
Yeah, I mean, is he starting Zach Charbonnet? Like, that feels bad if Ken Walker is back, but I guess there's not really much more he can play on the bench.
Yeah,
and you see Westbrook Akina in there. I guess he's not playing me though, so he probably won't get a touchdown. This guy's
I think he's falling off. Oh no,
man.
He got another touchdown last week.
Where he's got like 9 touchdowns and like 25 catches on the game.
Yeah, the catch, he has one game of over 3 catches. That's crazy. My God. I would definitely be scary to play against. Of course, the loser of this will run the beer mile, which is probably not a very fun event to do. But me and Parker both do run, so theoretically it's slightly less bad for us. I can't imagine not having run in ages and then go and drink 4 beers and running a mile. Like, that sounds, at least my body's somewhat attuned.
You gotta like crawl to the finish line. I don't know. Like, what happens if you physically can't keep moving after the 3rd beer?
I guess so we could expect some walk-in. I can't remember the last time I've drank 4 beers in like not over an hour. Like, just 4 beers in 20 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah, 15, 20 minutes.
Sounds awesome there. So who are you taking in this one?
I am probably taking you. I think I like your team better.
Feel good. Look at the matchup we had in week 10, dude.
I mean, but look at your position rankings. Like, it's number 1 kicker, number 1 defense, number 5. Like, I think Jaden Daniels might have another big game. Mark Andrews is all the way back, and Drake London is good enough. Like, you've got the guys to be able to do stuff.
They should have a high ceiling. They just have not been doing it. So we'll see if Marvin Harrison can perform now that the season does not mean anything for Arizona.
Championship week, Mike Evans against Carolina.
Oh no. This is, oh man. Yeah, it was
Shout
like
out to
2 years ago
when you and I played in the championships and Mike Evans went for 3 touchdowns on championship week against Carolina.
Yeah, that was horrible. Just kept seeing the same coverage, just like no safety over the top. Mike Evans on one or 2 people at the line, and he just runs by him. You're like, what the fuck is going on? That is a little terrifying.
He does need like 180 yards to get to that 1,000 mark, so I imagine they're going to be feeding him over the last 2 games.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that's the one. Otherwise, outside of that, like scared of Bijan, but maybe the Commanders will get far ahead and.
Oh man, it's the B Robinson matchup.
Yeah, true. Who's the better B Rob? We'll find out on this one.
Who are you taking?
I mean, I guess myself too. I don't really want to run the beer mile, but we'll see. ESPN has an 11-point spread here. And now let's just jump into your matchup. Third place matchup, get their money back. And wow, ESPN has it as a tight one. My goodness. Adam up against Jamie, the first and second regular season champions. And you're split on the series.
Yeah, this just goes back to if I could have secured the 1 seed, I'd also be in the championship game, which Jamie had 17 more points over the course of the season than me. And it sucks to look at because I feel like my team is nasty, but I guess Kyler Murray let me down, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the player
in there now and Colt Steve.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have great teams, and obviously, I mean, playing for third there's some solace there, but.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked Jamie's team all year. I've liked my team all year. Jamie's team with Jameer Gibbs now that Montgomery's out. I mean, this guy is just going to go for 7 points. Like, I'm a little bit nervous. Need that extra tick in the top 3 for the league history or the, team history.
Yeah, dude, for the deep stats, I think San Fran plays Detroit on Monday night too, so she's going to have Kittle, Gibbs, and then if she rides with Drake May, she won't have Brock Purdy, but that could be a decision she's thinking about. I guess you'll have Jameson, so not totally left in the cold.
We'll be fighting back a little bit. It feels bad having to start Jalen Waddle, and we'll see if James Conner plays. That was another thing is James Conner was shredding the Carolina Panthers defense and then just left halfway through.
Yeah, you have to expect more points for due. Can't get hung up on that one.
Yeah.
It's too easy to kick yourself in fantasy when it's ultimately just random.
Yeah. I do like the narrative that we're 1-1 on the series, third time playing her. Happy wedding. The first one was a gift, a wedding gift. Second one, I took it back, and this one's for the money.
Yeah, by 1 yard in week 3 is crazy. Holy shit. So she'll look to right the ship there. And then, of course, the real one, the big one of the week, the Schmeat Nation 3 championship. For the first time, both these teams joining. We got Andrew, Wazer, up against Super Lamar 64, Seth Lamb. Seth Lamb just a little bit of a favorite here, 7-point line. And damn, yeah, I mean, these teams really shook down and look great. Andrew obviously has a clear superiority in the running back department with Seth rolling out Gus Edwards. I think J.K. Dobbins might be back this week too, or they're talking about him being back.
They did recall, or they opened his window, so I don't know if he'll be back.
Yeah, it's meaningful football for him though. They're trying to make the playoffs, so I'm sure he'll want to get out there. Not sure how much that'll do. Obviously, Seth's never really had any other option at the RB position, but
yeah,
the big one here is the receiving cores for both these guys have been, and flex, I guess. Receivers and flex have been great for these two boys.
Yeah, the Chuba Hubbard draft. Also, what I find crazy is the number 1 and 2 quarterback. I don't know the last time that the championship has come down to the number 1 and 2 quarterbacks that were taken as the number 1 and 2 quarterbacks in the draft. Although
That's
I
a
don't know
good
if Patrick
point.
was taken over then.
Oh yeah, he was because J-Yip, yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, like the fact that drafting QB early this year, like I feel like usually that's a little bit of a hindrance, but it worked out this year. And I mean, just look at Lamar Jackson's average, like averaging 30 points. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and that one will happen on Christmas Day too, so Andrew could have a long wait for his QB to play, which I think might be on Saturday.
So
yeah,
he's also playing on Christmas. And Joe Mixon.
Oh man, yeah, these guys will have a good
and Chiefs.
battle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount going on Christmas for these two.
Oh man, look at Jake Jettis just right back in as the second ranked wide receiver after all that.
This guy is nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe he was slept on in any capacity.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if he was slept on. He was taking the 8th overall, right? Is that sleeping on him? I don't know.
It's just you're taking all these other guys over Jake Jettis, Tyreek Hill, CD even. Obviously, you wanted to take Jamar over him as the number 1.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah.
The real big one here is going to be Trey McBride.
Yeah.
He fell off a cliff last week.
So
Seth didn't get his usual 15 plus from him.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting going up the Rams. He was vocal though, and usually when you're yelling and shit, you start getting fed the ball in those receiving cores. So
yeah,
that could be a nice one. And then I am scared of the Chuba Hubbard matchup at Tampa Bay. Like Chuba hasn't been like as consistent as he was early. He's had a couple just goner games, so that one's going to be big for Andrew.
Last time they played Tampa, he only scored 2.3.
Oh my god, really?
In that game.
Holy shit! I got 12 carries. Must have had a fumble too. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean that Tampa run defense, and it's literally just because of Vita Vea. Like it's crazy how one man can disrupt an entire run game.
Just the whole fridge.
He is as wide as 2 men, so.
Yeah, I mean he's got 3 RB1s too. If you factor in Joe Mixon missing those games, so
yeah.
Just the opposite of Seth, who Seth has like the one running back and a fuck ton of great receivers. Andrew's got a couple good receivers and a fuck ton of good running backs.
And I mean, that Cortland Sutton play could be good. I mean, that could be another shootout, especially because Cincy needs to win this game. And if they win this game, I think they have a decent chance of making the playoffs. They'll still need Kansas City to beat Denver in the last week, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's been good for fantasy that the Bengals have been on this run. Like,
yeah,
they're putting up big numbers there. I feel like it's tough. I feel like you just see Seth's ceiling and wonder if Andrew can keep up. But then, of course, Andrew does have Josh Allen who can just go.
I feel like Andrew has had ceiling games too, though. Like, if you scroll down, what is their like week-to-week comparison?
Oh yeah, look at him. He had those back-to-back 180 weeks. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like Andrew's team has been so hot. I feel like.
He hasn't treaded up. Both these guys ending pretty high though. Those last. Andrew was the last person to go below 140 in week 13. We're far cry away from week 13 too.
Yeah, you're telling me. Who do you got?
Oh, I don't know. It's so hard. It's nice that both these guys will be new to the trophy. Don't have to worry.
As the only person with their name on it twice, yes, that is very nice.
It'll be cool to get either of these guys on. I mean, it's so tough because normally I look to the QB, but both these guys have similar ones. But I think the matchups and just like the star power on Steph's side, I lean a little bit more as people who can be relied upon. Where Andrew, it wouldn't be crazy if I see some ducks from any of these guys, right? The narrative all would pay for it. So
we have called Andrew's team boom bust all year.
Yeah, and I think he was much more consistent than really that warranted. Like, he had some down games, but who doesn't? Oh, we probably just kept that narrative from the week 1 through 5. Like, what a turnaround for Andrew.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, yeah, he's really just been trending up since that early start. He was doing nothing early.
That's crazy.
And then turned it on in week 6. Just went crazy. Seth had a little dip, but otherwise he's just been performing because Lamar's been so good and he's got all those QB wide receivers.
Yeah. My brain tells me to pick Seth, just like you, but my heart really wants Andrew to win here, just because Seth knocked me out in 2 leagues.
He's got that salt. He's got that salt.
And it's literally just because of Lamar, I swear to God.
That's tough because I feel like I've been pulling for these guys all year, like two
Yeah.
guys I've liked to see
But
win.
at the end of the
felt
day,
like I
like you
get
said,
teams.
new name on the trophy, so I'm not going to be too disappointed with whoever wins.
Yeah, I can't remember how Justin Jefferson did against Green Bay early. Where was that game?
20 points.
Yeah, 20.5. So they don't shut him down as much as some other teams do. So, and it's gonna be a good one to
Is it in
watch. Or
Green
it could
Bay?
get out of hand.
Oh no, it's at home this time.
Yeah, so they get the dome.
Yeah, which is always nice.
I guess if I had to choose, I would go Seth. Give Andrew a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, like I said, my brain tells me Seth, so I guess that's where I go. But we kind of fallen off on the game predictions.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Other games, Bradley plays Connor again. I don't think any of these dudes are watching, but Brad had coming after his game, and he's dumpstered Connor every chance he's gotten. So holy shit, it's just even when Connor has good weeks. So give me Brad again in that one.
Yeah, why not? Brad seems kind of hot at the moment. That Aiden O'Connell to Brock Bowers connection is disgusting.
Yeah, it's really nice to have him back for the Brock Bauer owners, and then. Yeah, give me Max. I don't think he can be beat there in this one. What about you?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is hot right now. QB1 status again.
He's going crazy.
Yeah,
And then G versus Eddie. I'll take Eddie again. I still hate Jasper's team.
I can't believe Patrick Mahomes crawled his way back up to QB1 status too. That's wild to me.
Yeah, good for him. He's been slinging it a little bit. Obviously, seems like Kamara's gonna be out again, but I think that might do it for the pod of 2024.
Yeah, it's been a good year. Been a fun year.
Yeah, thanks everyone for playing. The chat's been alive as always has. Feel like the league gets better every season, so
Yeah.
thank you all. It's because of you guys. So can't wish for anything more. I'll send payments out when those games finalize on Monday night, and then yeah, we'll go from there. But have a good off season, everyone. We'll see you in the chat.
All right, next year, year 10.
Oh shit, year 10. Yeah, get your tickets to Cabo. Get Hawaii locked in. We should do something special for that one. We'll theory craft in the off
We
season.
got a full off season to be like, oh, we're going to Vegas a week for the draft.
Yeah, we're good at the plans. All right, any parting words?
Nah, nothing else other than good luck to everyone playing for something this week.
Yeah. Good luck, Seth and Andrew. We'll see who gets the trophy, and we'll sort out that pass off as well. But happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. See you on the flip.
Merry Christmas.